I still have this idea that there's someone who's wrong in a case and someone who's right. I'm not saying that we always represent the good guy, but if there's someone out there that really needs some good hardcore investigations to support their case, I'd like to think that's what we're here for. We had been contacted by an attorney outside the state of Georgia, and he explained a situation where there was a woman that when she was in his state in months past, she was involved in an accident where her car was sideswiped by a police officer. He explained how she was complaining of multiple injuries, and beyond the physical trauma, she was complaining of the mental trauma of not being able to drive her car anymore. It was just too much for her to get back behind the wheel of a car because of the accident. It was only about a week or two before the court hearing, the attorney contacted us and wanted us to perform a surveillance to find out what this woman was doing. The first thing we did is we set up a surveillance team at her home, and we had that house under surveillance what seemed like all the time, and at no time during that week was she ever present. We never caught her actually at her house. Whether coming or going, she just wasn't there. As the days were getting shorter and shorter as far as our time to get our job done, we started thinking about other ways to find this woman doing something so we could use that in court to show whether she was telling the truth or not about her injuries. I've been doing this for a long time, and it just seems like a pattern that most people, when they have a court hearing coming up, either the day before or 2 days before, they will go spend time with their attorney. So we decided to shift gears and move the surveillance not from this woman's home, again we're going to call her Haley, but to Haley's attorney's office. We weren't there but for a few hours, and sure enough, all of a sudden Haley comes driving into her attorney's office in her car. She basically just stopped in front of the building. Someone came out of the building, got into the passenger side of the car, and they drove off together. So we decided to follow to see what would happen. We followed them to a restaurant where they had lunch. The whole time she appeared to be laughing and having a good time. She didn't really seem to have any physical disabilities that I could see. After lunch, she drove this person back to the office, at which time he got out and she drove away. It was only after that that we were able to find out who this person was, and it turns out that was her attorney that had gotten in the car with her, had gone to lunch, and come back with her to his office. Now this is a case that I had to testify in court, and I got brought in at the end. And what was interesting is, up until the time I had gotten there, her own attorney was continuing to argue that she couldn't drive, that it was just too traumatic for her, that she was unable to get behind the wheel of a car. So I had a lot of fun getting on the stand and bringing in my videotape to show that not only could she drive, but she drove with him in the car, and he was very well aware that she was able to drive. So that was a fun one.
For more information, please visit our website at selectondemand.com.